Biology and Bioengineering in Germany. Here are our guests, and I, of course, will introduce them separately as well. The organizer of this session is My German University, Germany's largest study program database, and you can find all the programs offered by German universities here. The programs have lots of information there, and of course, course pages where you can also start application in case they are having their own portal for this. We have more than 200 comprehensive articles. They are about different topics. We are adding more articles, also articles in German in case you are interested. And please check them out. This could be informative. Yesterday, I had a webinar about studying in Germany, and I had lots of questions about UniAssist. So for such kind of things, I recommend checking our articles because this is kind of quick fix for you. You can get answers to your detailed questions really easily with keyword search and so on. We have lots of webinars, general and subject webinars. The aim of subject webinars is to connect you with your future program, that you have much more details just before applying or during your application period. And for general webinars, we are covering topics such as visa, UniAssist scholarship, studying in Germany, and so on. And actually, we are also adding general webinars in German language. This is our team. We are based in Hamburg, Germany. We are counseling in different languages, and we are happy to share our experience of studying in Germany as Germans, as internationals, including myself. And yeah, always happy to share this with you. Now, I already told you about our study finder, but I also want to show you on the example of subjects that we presented today, biology, bioengineering. You can select the subjects here. There could be multiple. You can combine. Then you also have suggestions of subjects that were not in your mind, but maybe you are also considering to apply to them, and then apply filters. You can see here frequently used filters or quick filters, but there are much more if you have preferences in terms of university, rankings, and all of that can be adjusted. You can also sort programs according to, let's say, application deadline. And then if you are applying for a master program, instead of 216 search results, you will have much lower number, and it's easier already to decide where to apply. We also have subject pages. In this case, I brought one for biology, and these subject pages are really interesting, at least for me, because you can have an overview of what does it feel studying the specific subject in Germany. You have application admission requirements, language requirements. Again, frequently asked these days is about rankings. So we do have rankings here as well. You can see a prompt. They are included, and they are also based on international rankings that are available publicly. Briefly about the universities in Germany, in case you are new to this topic and you don't know why there are universities and universities of applied sciences, we have a whole article about this in different languages again. But what I want to mention today is that usually universities have more research and theory-oriented programs, and universities of applied sciences usually have more application and practice-oriented programs offered. And yeah, additional suggestion will be to check or do a kind of pre-check yourself in terms of qualification requirements, because these are, as a rule, quite strict and set. You need to make sure that you meet qualification requirements before starting application, collecting application documents and application itself. All right, so now, without further ado, I would like to give the mic to Vera Vanier from Offenburg University of Applied Sciences, who will be talking about the Biotechnology Master of Science study program.
So, hello. My name is Vera Vanier. Thank you, Nino, for introducing me. I'm head of the graduate school, and I will talk about our Master of Science in Biotechnology today, if it's working. Yeah. So I will just give you a short introduction to our region, which is situated in the southwest of Germany. So we are very close to France and to Switzerland. It's one of Germany's economic strongest regions, and we are very close to cross-national metropolitan area, and we are part of it. So here you can see a little bit better where we are. We are here in this green area. So really close to France. Next city is Strasbourg, and we have a direct train to go there, 30 kilometers. Switzerland is not far away, but also Paris, for example, which is 500 kilometers, but we have also a direct train 2 times a day, and it takes you only 2.5 hours to go there. As I said before, we are one of Germany's strongest economic regions. We have a lot of small and middle-sized companies, which are maybe not very known, but they are hidden champions, and they really work all over the world. Yeah, well, Mercedes is known, but here are some others like Herrenknecht, Markant, Hans Grohe. So they are very known and yeah, present in a lot of countries outside Germany. These are some pictures of our region called Baden-Württemberg. We are traditional region, I would say. So yeah, you can see this lady here with the bubbles on her head, which means they are red colored, so that means she's not married. But you won't see it in daily life here. This is only for traditional festivities. And yeah, so as also our carnival, which is very nice. Sometimes I'm afraid a little when I see these witches, because they behave also like witches sometimes, but it's very different from the rest of Germany. And yeah, it's really, really nice to live this. Maybe our cake is the most known, I don't know. It's the Black Forest cake. You maybe heard of it. So our region also offers a lot of opportunities to do some sports like swimming, hiking, going for ski tours or mountain biking. Well, there are a lot of things to do in your free time. So let's talk about our university. We have about 3,800 students, so we are a small-sized university of applied sciences. But we have 50-degree programs, so that's a lot. 130 professors and 350 members of staff. So a lot of people who will take care of you and try to organize all around your studies, which is maybe interesting for you also. We have about 60 PhD students because we are very good in research, and we have 11 research institutes. We normally work close together with companies, and so this is research, applied research also, like our kind of teaching. So here you can see this is just the list of our research institutes. You can see here, for example, bioeconomy, but also sustainable energy systems, which is close to biotechnology also. And well, this is very new. We are part of a European University Alliance. So we are head of this university that we created with 8 other countries in Europe. You can see them here on this little spot. And so it goes from the very south to the very north, to Sweden, Latvia, Poland, North Macedonia. And so this gives you, if you come here to study, a lot of opportunities to go abroad and have other experiences than the Germans. So now we will talk about our master degree, biotechnology. It is a joint degree, so you will start in Offenburg for the first semester, and then in the second semester you go to Poland, Olsztyn, and afterwards for the third semester you can come back to Offenburg or stay in Olsztyn. This is up to you, and do your master thesis. So this is a 3-semester degree. Yeah, just the overview, as I said, Germany, Poland, and then master thesis. Program overview with titles. So we are going to talk about bioeconomy and industrial biotechnology in Offenburg. Then in Poland, they focus on biotechnology and environmental sciences. And well, then you choose your own topic for your master thesis. So these are the bigger names of what we go to teach you. Safety and control, for example, in biotechnology. I cannot give you really insights in these modules because I'm not a biotechnologist, but well, I think you have maybe more knowledge about this. So this is just to show you. You also have always complementary subjects, so you can choose a little bit where you want to put a point in your studies. This is what the University of Warmia and Missouri offers in the second semester. So you can see it's a little bit different. For example, biorefineries or food, they have a faculty that deals with food technology, things like that. So if you're interested in this, you can choose this one. Or you go to waste materials, techniques in biotechnology. You have more choices in Poland than to put your own subject. If you want to read more about this, you can just follow this link and you will have the module handbook with everything described inside concerning the subjects for sure. So Master of Science, English taught, fully English taught, 3 semesters. And if you want to, you can join our German intensive course in September for 4 weeks. We normally have about 60 to 80 students there, so it's good atmosphere. It's nice to get used to the region, to the university, and to learn German, which is important, I think. Just some information about our deadlines. So the online application is from January. We will open it the 7th of January this year to 15th of July. But for international students, that means those students who have to have a visa to come to Germany, the application deadline is 31st of March. This is why we have to handle your applications, and then we will give you the chance to have the visa in time and to join us in the end of September or beginning of September if you want to do the language course. The application requirements are you have to have fulfilled 180 ECTS to apply, and until enrollment 210 ECTS. We need your English certificate, B2 level, or well, you can do TOEIC, TOEFL, IELTS. We accept all these. Our fees for non-European citizens, it's €1,500 per semester plus €320 for administrative fees. Some practical information. So we have a lot of support services for international students. I think the best of it is our assistance in finding accommodation, because we do it before arrival. So when you arrive in Offenburg, you will know where to live. And I think this is a good point to choose Offenburg, because this is very rare. Well, the rest is maybe like other universities. We have our senior buddy system. So you will have your own buddy who will contact you before arrival, also give you some orientation and will help you with all administrative stuff when you be here. We have ongoing language courses for free during the lecture period. We have a big cultural and social program, sports, and the senior service, which is an initiative for bringing together senior citizens with international students, so they can also maybe give you some time in your free time. You cook together, you do like a walk together, or they will help you, whatever you want. This is like a small family sometimes for our students. Well, some of them don't want to take this opportunity, and others really get close to them and, yeah, stay friends when they are back. Just about the costs, we think you should have at least €992 per month, because accommodation is not cheap in Germany. You have to have a health insurance, liability insurance, and the fees. And well, you have to live and buy some things for your studies for sure. So our master's degree are all together in the graduate school, organized in the graduate school. English taught programs, teaching in small groups. We normally take classes up to 25 per semester and per master degree. So yeah, you will be like a little family. You will have intercultural experience and individual services if you need. As I said, we will organize also cultural program. We do hiking tours together with the senior service. We take you to snow experiences in winter. We organize an international evening where our new students can present their home countries. And so, yeah, you have a lot of opportunities to know other people here and to get in contact. So I thank you for your attention. And if you have further questions, for sure, you can write me an email and contact me. I will answer or forward your questions to the coordinator in charge of the program. Thank you.
Give the mic to Professor Dr. Annette Menke from Hochschule Bonn-Rhein-Sieg, who will be talking about bachelor's program Applied Biology. Thank you, Professor, for making it to the session.
My name is Annette Menke, and I'm professor for cell and microbiology. I'm also the course director for the Applied Biology program. And well, but I'm not a member of the international office or so. So information I cannot give you is what Vera actually has emphasized so nicely, cost of living and so on. My focus here will actually be the content of the study program and why we believe that it is indeed, as I say here, innovative, international, and interdisciplinary. It's a bachelor program. So it actually is the program which could prepare you for a master program as the one Vera has just introduced you to. I'm quite happy that I have deleted what I usually have as the first slide, because that also says we're at the heart of Europe. Well, in a way we are too, because our university is nearby the city of Bonn, the former capital of Germany, which is also very close to the western part of Germany, neighboring Belgium and the Netherlands. So this too is a country embedded, collaborating with our Western neighbors. So HBRS, Hochschule Bonn-Rhein-Sieg, a young university founded only 30 years ago with 3 campuses to the right banks of the River Rhine in St. Augustin and Hennef, and to the left banks of the River Rhine in Rheinbach. And this is where the study program Applied Biology, which I want to introduce you to, is localized in the Department of Natural Sciences. Next slide, please. So this is a bird's eye view on our campus, and I tried to activate the pen, see whether it works out. No, it does not. Okay, but you probably see at the bottom of the photography railways. So we're really in walking distance from the main station in Rheinbach. Most of our students live in the city of Bonn, and this is an easy 25 to 30 minutes train ride from Bonn to Rheinbach, to campus. And then once they have arrived in Rheinbach station, it's an easy 5 to 10 minutes stroll from the station to the campus. Rheinbach itself is a peaceful and quiet city. Some 30,000 people live in there. Most professors and staff members who have kids stay there. But honestly speaking, our students live in Bonn, or they even live in Cologne and travel then quite easy in and out of the campus. What you can also see here in this bird's eye view is the lecture hall, the library, the safety laboratories where most of our practical classes take place, and the pond. The pond is where students typically love to relax after practical days are finished. The next slide shows you some more impressions from the campus. Yeah, honestly, we waited for a beautiful summer day to take the pictures. Right now, I have to admit, days are short in Germany. Our region does not experience much snow, so mainly I have to admit it's gray and rainy. But December, that's the time where the Christmas markets start, and this means that everything is covered in lights, and actually a beautiful time to be in Germany. Now, in the next slide, I'd like to show you which kind of study programs are actually offered at our department. So we do have 3 bachelor programs and 3 master programs. The bachelor program I am representing here, Applied Biology, is a program which is done entirely in English. The others, Chemie is German only, Forensic Sciences is half German, half English. If you should have interest in that, I could use the chat thereafter to answer your questions on that. But Applied Biology, a bachelor program taught entirely in English. Next slide, please. So when I introduce people to the study program, they typically ask, why is it not just called biology? Why is it called applied biology? What does it make applied? And we believe there are a number of things which make it different from a traditional biology program at a traditional university. To start with, we have deleted all of these biology courses, which might be exciting, but which don't prepare you for the job market. Hence, no botany, no zoology. We won't send you out in spring to collect herbs and to classify them. We won't send you out to classify insects and stuff like that. That's all exciting, that's all useful to learn about, but it doesn't prepare you for the job market. For that reason, not in our study program. Instead, we focus here on modern subdisciplines of biology and how the basic knowledge which you get in those subdisciplines can be used to, for example, prepare products for the medical market of a biotechnology. So human biology, cell biology, genetic engineering, biotechnology, structural biology, these are the courses which we offer. That makes us applied. Also, we do have a much higher focus on practical trainings than traditional universities are. Now, if I've understood that, all of us here are representatives of applied universities. So I don't have to tell you much about the advantages these have over traditional academic universities. Lots of practical training, hands-on. And finally, we also do have lots of lectures, especially in the advanced courses, which come from biotech or biomedical companies here in the area. They are wonderful role models telling you where you can end up with a degree, and they also tell you directly what you can actually do once you have graduated with our study program. Finally, we're applied because we not only treat you in science as such, but we also help you developing your soft skills, Teamwork is essential, and lots of work is done in small groups. Next slide, please. Just click through. So these are some pictures of the lab life. On top here, you see actually a typical situation at the end of a course day. This is my colleague Dieter. He is professor for medical microbiology, and after the students have finished their lab work, they come together, collect their ideas, collect the results, interpret, evaluate the results, and think together, how shall we move on? At the bottom, you also see that we have, as we're a young university, a lot of really modern equipment. Cell culture is a model which you won't find in many other universities because, well, the equipment which you have to have for that is quite expensive. However, it's really an essential technique which students often need in their bachelor training and later on a master degree. And for that reason, we're very happy to offer that to our students. In the next slide, I want to show you an overview on the courses. So it's a 6-semester, 3-year bachelor program. We only admit people in the winter. For that reason, all uneven numbered courses are winter terms and the even numbered are summer terms. And often when students start their study program and see what they do in the first semester, they're a bit, shall I say so, frustrated because they tell me, we came here to study biology. And now look at that, we only do cell biology. Why is that so? Thing is, the kind of biology which we are doing with a focus on modern subdisciplines of biology, that can only be understood if you do have a thorough knowledge in the other subdisciplines in natural sciences. Hence, we start with chemistry. Hence, we start with physics. Hence, we start with mathematics. But you see, from semester 2 on, you get more and more and more biology courses. You also see that we do have in the first study year 2 language classes. Of course, if you're an international student, we invite you to learn German. Vera has said that's essential if you wish to continue your career, academic or professional, here in Germany. And for that reason, we invite all internationals to take German classes. Now, if you already do know German and your English is also up to a B2 C1 level, you can also take Spanish, Arabic, Russian, and so on lectures. In semester 4, you see some which looks different from the previously mentioned mandatory courses, electives, where we believe once you have advanced a bit more, you are better able to say where your interests are actually, where you probably want to focus on what you or how you yourself want to develop yourself, so that you then can be admitted into a master program. If I understood Vera correctly, she has a biotechnology master program on offer. Well, one of our electives here is a biotechnology focused course, and that would be ideal if you say, I want to go on with a master in biotechnology. Other electives have more of a focus on biomedicine, if this is what you plan to do with your master. In semester 6, but students finally say goodbye to university, mostly, and go to research institutes, universities, even partner universities abroad to do the 3-month practical training, being like a junior researcher, really whole day in the laboratory to generate the data, which they then will need to write up in their bachelor's thesis. And once that is done, one final defense. Students usually very nervous about that. Shouldn't be. It's really just defense. They present the data. We ask them critical questions, and when they have survived that, we shake their hands. Congratulations, you're now a Bachelor of Science, and off you go. Next slide, I guess, is something we could skip. It's a typical week for winter term. I don't want to overuse my time. We're an international study program, and we also, because we teach entirely in English, all of the staff is absolutely ready to use English. This is basically lingua franca on campus. If your English is not up to B2 C1 level yet, the Language Center offers remedial courses. German classes, as I said, are offered. We're really happy to have this language center. They also offer things like courses in academic writing for students. They support them when it comes to writing up lab reports or writing up the thesis. They also offer intercultural training. We're international because we do have a high number of international students. At the moment, it's actually even higher than 25%, something like rather 50% at the moment. EU students, many also from the Global South, West Africa, also from the Indian subcontinent, also from Bangladesh. Increasing number, of course, these days students from Ukraine or Russia. Also now and then students from the States or Canada, Australia, typically those then who know that sometime in the family history, someone came from Germany and they want to see with their own eyes the place their ancestors came from. We're also international because we do have a mobility window during study year 3. And this mobility window is actually where we invite students then to go abroad and to join one of our partner universities. In the next slide, I have listed some of the partner universities for you. We also do have a Polish partner university in Jagiellonian. We don't have joint degrees, but we do have dual degrees, for example, with the UK and with the Netherlands. Vera has introduced you to joint degrees. Dual degree means you go abroad for just 1 year and you graduate then not with one joint degree, but with 2 degrees, our degree and the degree of the partner university. This is something what is very sought after, because for your academic career or for your job career, this is really an absolute bonus later on. So these are partner universities in Europe. We also do have some outside of Europe. The list is constantly expanding. So if you say after 2 years in Germany, you're ready to venture abroad, we're here to help you with that. In the next slide, if you want to continue with the master program, our bachelor prepares you for biotechnology and biomedicine. Our own master program is actually a biomedical science program. And many students actually decide to stay with us, and because, well, they fell in love with the campus as it is. Small, familiar professors who know the students very quickly by first name and who also do know the story. Finally, I brought some pictures from summer and from winter. Once in 10 years was it snowy like that. So, of course, everyone ran out camera and took photos and photos and photos. I guess we have another one. Because that was so rare, it had to be documented. So if you're interested, as I said, I will not tell you something about the cost of living. I guess it's very, very similar to Offenburg. You have to apply in summer because we admit only in the winter term. We are admission restricted, so we typically do have a limited number of international students whom we take up. But the good news for you as international applicants this year is that we will not have any school graduates in North-Rhine-Westphalia in 26. Because the school system shifts from an 8-year high school to 9-year high school. And for that reason, we don't expect many German applicants. So if you're an international student and who wants to join our international program, this is actually the year to apply, because your chances are enormously high this year. And also your chances to have a study program in which your fellow students dominantly will be international. We do have a semester contribution of round about €300, but no tuition fees. This gives you also Deutschland ticket for public transport, cheap food, cheap housing, and so on. Application is entirely online by Uni Assist, and if you check out the link here, you find any information you need, which material to be uploaded, and so on. Yeah, and thank you.
Katja Krebs-Ali from HTW Berlin will be presenting now MBA program Engineering Life Science Management.
Everyone, for my introduction, also for the great presentations. It's always nice to see what programs are available in Germany. And I'm presenting today in the name of HTW Berlin. As Berlin, it says, the capital city. And for me, let me just see, why doesn't it go further to the next slide? I've been working in this program that I'll be presenting today because I'll only focus on one program today for over 6 years, and it has developed quite a lot over the years. It's an MBA, which is specifically targeted at the life science industry. And I thought it would fit quite nicely here because most of our applicants actually have a biology, a chemistry background. Some even have a PhD, have been working in labs for 15 years. Some come from biotech background. Some come from even consultancy, but within the area. So I think it is a really good space for us to present the MBA. And as every MBA is, a Master of Business Administration, it's an investment into your future. So if you want to be working in the future within our field, then obviously this could be something of interest. But before I go into the program itself, everyone did it so nicely. Let's go into Berlin. And Berlin is a beautiful city. I mean, everyone who has been to Berlin says it's so multifaceted. It offers so many different varieties of sports activities, art, of just different hubs. And this is exactly where our two campuses, you see here, the campus where the program takes place in, close to the River Spree. It's very beautiful. It actually, you can't really see, it has a sandy beach. So you have the beach factor, you have very historical building where you'll be studying in, and it's close proximity to the center, but also to go further out of the city. And Berlin, as you've seen on the map, is not as far located from Poland that you can visit. You can go to the Baltic Sea and have like a beach experience. In Poland, you can go skiing as well. And Berlin itself is very green city. So I think it is beautiful for you to maybe not only visit, but actually study in a capital. And when it comes to the biology, biotech background, I think what's important to mention that our university is lucky to be in Berlin, especially for a program, because we've got like over 300, I believe, 60 different medical technology companies within Berlin only, not even the surrounding areas, 320 biotech and pharmaceutical companies. So already throughout your studies, you have the opportunity to work and also write your master thesis with one of the companies. If you're coming or looking more into medical background, we've got 145 clinics within Berlin and 40 notable research institutes. Just today, we received from the Charité, from the hospital, the heart department, writing to us, oh, we're looking for a student who can help us exactly what an MBA is about, market entry, strategy, business development, mapping. And so we've been asked, actually, we're getting a lot of offers also throughout the studies for you to finance your studies, to gain work experience, and then also when it comes to your job afterwards, like, for example, they were saying, oh, maybe this person would be applicable to go into the research team of the Charité. So it is a really good place to be in. The university itself, besides the looks and the feel of it, which is always brilliant to see with each university, is the largest in Berlin. I've seen on Nino's slide that usually applied universities are seen smaller, but ours is actually quite big. We've got like 14,000 students, and of which around more than 3,000 students are international students coming from all around the globe. We've got over 70 programs, and also therefore loads of professors, associate lecturers, and we have different departments. And today, obviously, I'm coming rather from the life science department. So let's dive into it. The MBA and Engineering and Life Science Management. Actually, for those who are thinking maybe to study biology or biotech or even have a master's in that field already, apply to our program. And coming from different backgrounds, academically, it's also important in our view, being a University of Applied Sciences, that for this MBA, you require at least 1 year of work experience. So if you have worked in pharma and medtech and biotech, wherever you might have worked, which is relevant to the program, you can apply to our program. And this program was actually built or was born by a professor who had the German side of the life science engineering part. And she was saying, we've got so much industry talking to us. We need managers in our fields. We have great natural scientists, but we need to equip them with management tools. And this is how it all started, that those tools of management, innovation, and also visionary thinking has been developed, combining an MBA and with life sciences. And the program was really created to guide you all being or going to be scientific minds towards a more impactful and influential roles across the industry. So let me look in or go further in here and share some more thoughts. In this integral program, you can really benefit, like I just said, from both sides. By the way, what's new is from 2026, it's not only going to be regulatory affairs model, innovation model, modules, process engineering modules, but also we're including an artificial intelligence and life sciences module, which we believe nowadays it's such a strong part when working in the industry. Like I myself have worked with a company who uses AI for, finding early on diabetic retinopathy. So some disease that when early treated protects you from actually getting blind. So there's really a lot of topic areas on that. The next one that I would like to point out in this program, in this MBA, that it is very professional, meaning, no, it's not professionally taught that anyway. It's a state university. We've got lots of professors, but it's also that being a university of applied sciences, most of our lecturers are actually coming from the industry. So you will have over almost 90% of our lecturers being CEOs, founders, being in European associations, leading their own companies. So really you're learning from those who are in the industry, giving you a great network, but also giving you this hands-on information, getting also guest lecturers in to give you that what is actually not theoretically only, but also practice in the industry. It's very transdisciplinary and practice orientated. Like I just mentioned, you'll be constantly doing some projects, and in a group you will have to present. It's transdisciplinary, so you have to put the different contents from the modules together. I always mention that one of our professors, we actually have a professor from a different university joining us. He invented to make it more fun to create business strategy called gamification. And through this gamification program, you actually will build strategies which will stick in your mind a lot stronger and will give you a tool for the future to develop strategies when you develop a business idea. Berlin, I mentioned already, is called a life science hotspot. Some call it Health Capital Berlin. And also interesting to mention, just to the side of our university, since a few years, a huge biotech hub is being built, where the leading biotech companies have been already starting to rent, who not only do research there, but actually have also operations within that area. So it's such a close proximity that you just need to walk over one street. So let's hope for some more cooperation there. But let's get back to yourself. When you're coming to a different country, 1.5 years, here it is 3 semesters, and want to obviously invest into your future. So where do you come from? We have targeted this program for engineers, natural scientists, business managers, or similar professionals who are seeking to be more into senior roles, managing roles, leadership roles, even if it's in HR, even if it is in marketing, whatever really most find it throughout their studies, where you actually not only your skill set that you have acquired, but actually a natural characteristic of your personality leads you to. So you've got throughout your studies the opportunity to test out, trial, and study with like-minded professionals. You at least need 1 year's work experience. It is very important to have already an understanding what it is like to put theory into practice. So you understand what we're talking about. Fluent in English, but most of you, I guess, are fluent nowadays. And if you're unsure, always discuss first what your career path ideas are. We do not recommend to come to us, to the University of Applied Sciences, if you have a PhD in mind, because we are looking rather into managerial positions. These are overall information, I think, summarizing the organizational size. We have small class sizes of up to 25 professionals. We have an application process where you apply online. Our online form is on our website. Then afterwards, once your paperwork is okay and your requirements have been met to the program, we do a 30-minute short interview with myself. So if you have any questions beforehand already, always please let me know. And then the Life Science Management Board checks out the applications, and then you will receive within 2 to 3 weeks' time actually already acceptance. Application deadline is the 28th of February. Having said that, early applications, like I just mentioned, if you fit in greatly, you would receive your acceptance even early on. Later applications are possible, but then on an individual basis. Please always contact me. As long as the application form is online, we do still accept applications. Yeah, it's only 3 semesters. First and second semester is taught on our campus, and the third semester is also very crucial to enhance not only your CV, but really try out or enhance your career by working already, writing your master thesis with a company in Berlin, in Germany, in Europe, wherever you might want to be in. And you've got the opportunity here to take the semester whilst writing your master thesis and work at the same time. What often happens is then you would either get an offer for this job, but mostly important is you get the experience within the company. It only starts each winter semester, so next year it will be in October 2026. But like I mentioned, you apply now, so it's totally the right time for you to be in this call and to ask questions, to think about. Here's one point that I want to mention. Yes, this program is paid. So everyone might think, oof, as a first instance, oh, I have to pay for this program. It's not very common in Germany. However, as we see it as an investment, we always try, and also for you to think, if you would invest in a property, why not invest like into a career? So look into maybe your family, look into loans, student loans. It is very common, like in the UK or in the US, to plan ahead when you want to invest also into your career, the knowledge, the certificate, but more so in this program, the network that you're gaining. You will have the professors network, your professionals network, some actually together start a startup company, some others they work throughout their studies, they do internships. So you really receive through all the conferences, workshops with companies, career days that we're offering for you to be placed in the companies, a big amount of network that you will thrive off in the future. And if you're thinking of migrating to Germany, this is a great way of doing that. Also, we offer a scholarship. So we offer 50% scholarship that you can apply for as soon as you've been accepted to the program. There's more information on our website. But I think when you invest so much, when you go abroad, put so much energy into it. I did it myself as well. I did an MBA myself. And you want to know what can you actually do afterwards with that. So let's go into potential career paths here. Life science industry is the sector, especially having seen it in Corona times, the fastest growing sector worldwide, not only in Europe. So you've got the potential to work in pharma, biotech, medtech, healthcare, any supporting companies like agencies, research institutes, governmental bodies. We've got someone working now for the European Union as a consultation for different projects that need to be implemented. So really, you've got a lot of industries that you can juggle with. Also, the sizes of the companies, when you're looking into, yes, there's multinationals. We also have someone from Takeda or Boehringer Ingelheim teaching, lecturing. These are, by the way, just companies from where our alumni now work in. So Bayer, Pfizer, Novo Nordisk in Denmark, Roche in Switzerland, Capgemini, the IGS Institute, and Centiva, Tissues, Thermo Fisher. So really nameful companies. But maybe what you're not aware of, in Germany, we've got a very strong small and medium enterprise system, which are also international, which also allow you, if you don't have proficiency of too much in German, allow you to work internationally and say, I've just named a few, you might not know them, but when you look at the presentation afterwards, you can write them down, look them up. And we also, again, our alumni work in all these companies and obviously startups. You can build up your own company. We've got a startup hub in our university. And it's a good place in Berlin to start with that. Functions was another question that often arrives. So actually, what do I do? Yes, great, I can apply in all these companies, but have a look here what our alumni work in. Yes, regulatory affairs, maybe quality management is what you would think of in the beginning, but actually to be a consultant and value and access strategy, like I just mentioned, Charité, who contacted us today, or you can do a product account management or sustainability projects and be an expert in that area. Marketing managers, we've had quite a few. You can even work in the health insurance. So there we go. I think there's been a lot of information. I've added to this presentation also a few slides of maybe your student journey, of how it could look when you study here from arriving. Like here, I've got a 26-year-old. We've got a very diverse backgrounds as well and where people go. But for example, from India, a lady, she had a biotechnology bachelor and had experience only of 1 year as lab assistant. And she did a 6-month internship in QM as a project management. And then she started as a lab manager. This is a very simple path. I think the most simplest that we could offer or that has been experienced. But I think we also got on the other side more people with more experience who come to us in diverse areas, like here with international business, finance, management. And he's got over 10 years of work experience, but he's always been working in pharma. And what he was missing is actually to look or work in a different area that he might want to be working on. Like, for example, he tried out regulatory affairs throughout his studies and then ended up in a multinational pharma company here in Germany. So please have a look at these different, I think my time is coming to a close. So you can have a look at these different examples. Thank you very much for listening. I know there's lots of webinars nowadays available, and it's great that you have lasted almost an hour here. I'm always happy to answer any questions with regards to the MBA and anything around it. So thank you again.
Thank you very much, Katja. Another very interesting program and how it was presented. Thanks a lot. And yeah, exactly. Let's start with the questions. The first one that came in was for Vera. Is it possible to apply with a preliminary bachelor's certificate? I know you mentioned 180 CTS, but maybe somebody joined a bit later.
Yes, it is possible. We will ask for your bachelor's certificate at the latest at enrollment. So when you come here to Offenburg.
Yeah. Thank you so much. question from Nelson, which can be asked to all, even though I think it was during Vera's presentation, but it's also relevant for Professor Menke and Katja. Are high school grades and diploma required for the application? No for MBA? Vera, is it necessary? Yes, you need to have the grades and diploma from high school for Offenburg. And high school diploma is most important document for bachelor's program from Professor Menke, but maybe if you want to add
Indeed.
anything.
Yeah, as I said, we're normally admission restricted, which means that typical situation is that some 10 to 12% internationals only, non-EU internationals would be admitted, but it is very, very likely in the next year that they will increase the number of international applicants enormously, but still, of course, the grades are checked upon application.
Thank you so much. Questions for master and an MBA. How to calculate ECTS? I'm Indian student planning to do masters from Germany and even have gap years. What we can do to overcome and show this in a motivation letter or statement of purpose. And then I shared the ECTS calculator and GPA calculator, and the person says, I have both GPA and CGPA and ECTS, so what should I focus on? But these are different things. GPA is about your grades, ECTS is about credit points of courses. But I will give mic to Vera and Katja to discuss it. Do you pay attention? Is it important to have certain GPA and ECTS will be important for the application process? So let's elaborate on this. I don't know who wants to start. Yeah, Vera?
Yeah, if you want to. Well, I think we don't want our prospective students to calculate them on their own. We will have a look on the transcript of marks, and we have a lot of experience in evaluating everything, so that's not a problem. Yeah, applicants don't have to do it on their own.
Thank you. Katja?
From our side, actually, throughout your application process, we take into consideration not only your marks. So there will be a lot of different scores given for different areas. And also because of that, you're also able to apply with only 180 ECTS, even though we require 210. But because maybe you've gained so much work experience, or maybe you've done certain other extracurricular things. So we need to look individually with everyone how much it is. But same as in Offenburg, please don't calculate anything. We do that. We check ANABIN, we've got our scoring systems. You don't need to do anything. So you can wash off your hands and say, great, I'll just give you my certificates and please calculate and give me a feedback, because it's not only the only actually point that is important for us. It's also important how your interview process is. It's also important what you maybe have done outside, etc., etc. So I think it is easy to answer. Do you want me to answer the other HTW questions straight away, Nino?
Maybe we could take one for bachelors first
Yep, please go ahead.
also. Yeah, thank you so much. I see the question for bachelors. How heavy is the lab work versus theory? Should I expect several lab sessions per week early on? I have no science classes at school.
Okay, heavy. That's what makes us special, as I've said. So that was the one slide which I've skipped, which showed you a typical work week during the lecture period. So mornings are basically lectures and exercises and seminars, and afternoon is lab time. Our practicals are typically organized en bloc, which means that you do have 5 or 6 afternoons in a row. Thank you. Thank you. So you see how that's organized. So in the morning, lectures and exercises, these are not mandatory. Students are free to decide whether they want to come or don't want to come. In the afternoon, then practical. So let's say you're scheduled for the practical in medical microbiology. That will then mean that you do have 5 or 6 afternoons, in this case here, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and again a Tuesday and a Wednesday practical class, so that you can really immerse yourself into that experience of being in the lab. Then we typically do have a break, a week or so, in which you can review your data, review your results, write up the stuff. We have different forms of assessment, writing up the lab report, presenting a poster presentation, preparing an oral presentation as if you would attend a scientific meeting or so. So yeah, it really feels like working. It's not so much the relaxed student life some students might dream about, because, well, our students leave the lab at 6 or 7 in the evening, and I can tell you they're quite tired. A word of warning, which I probably should say here. We do start with the practicals pretty early. So semester 26 will start probably 1st of October. Expect your first practicals to start then middle of October. We know, I don't know where you come from, the person who asked that in some countries, the embassies are terribly slow. I don't know whether my colleagues here have the same experience. Embassies, in Bangladesh especially, in Nigeria, take ages. Students wait 12 months for their appointment. And so that means that all the time they can't be in Germany, they can't attend the lab classes. So this is something you probably should think about before. How fast does the embassy in your country work at the time being? You apply for our bachelor program in July. You know then very quickly whether you will be admitted or not. And you basically have then time for 3 months to get the visa ready, to start your study program in time. If you come in later, you can start, of course, with the lectures and the exercises. We do lots of stuff online, but practical classes indeed is difficult. So to be fair, such a word of warning is actually appropriate. I don't know how the experience with the colleagues of mine here is with visa problem and late arrivals and the challenge which imposes to lecturers and people in the international office and the students' office to deal with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. I also, during my general webinars, I also have this point frequently. How early can I get the feedback to start the visa procedure? So that's why deadlines are frequently also quite early. Now let's go to the MBA. I know, Katja, you are already writing an answer. Maybe you want to voice this, and this could be interesting for others. It was about background, how to.
There was different questions. One was HDW, if it's a state university.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is a state university, and it is actually the biggest university in Berlin of applied sciences, and therefore you have a very strong academic departments in here. Have also the opportunity, like in the other universities you heard today, learn other languages. You can take part in sports activities for a very small fee. So yes, it is a state university. The second one was, well, I've never done any management, or I don't have business background. So will I actually manage to study the program, or is there any support available? And my answer was here that actually this program is geared for natural scientists who don't have a business background. We don't say it's basic, because we don't want you to learn just basic management skills. No, you have advanced management skills. So therefore, it might appear to you, especially in finance or HR, where you have never had any contact with in the beginning, that you need to read up on a lot. But all this material is given by our lecturers. And also, I've been just writing that, like, for example, in finance, our professor, she guides you throughout analyzing businesses at the end of this semester, that you can even do the Bloomberg certificate and take it also with you. So that's an additional certificate that you will be receiving throughout your studies, and no one has failed it, believe me. So therefore, do not worry too much if you want to apply. And again, it is all geared also for personal development. So throughout your studies, you will have buddies, you will have seminars, you will have also how to apply, you will have so much support to help you throughout. Was there any other question? Oh yeah, Ms. Krebs, is also possible to do the course in more than 3 semesters. Yes, as you might be aware, the multinationals, they not only want you for 3 months in an internship, but up to a year often. So you have the opportunity, if you say, I would like to work longer and write my master thesis, I need to prolong it. You will have the opportunity to extend it free of charge for 1 more semester. So you can extend it to 4 semesters. Having said that, always keep in your mind you want to be in the business as soon as possible to earn the proper money, to be already in the roles. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you. There is a question for everybody. It's about the German language. I know all of you mentioned it. And the question is, if I want to stay in the industry, will B1, B2 German alongside to C1 English be good start? And maybe we could briefly repeat about the German classes, if they were offered by program as a part of the curriculum, or is it from language school and so on. Maybe we could start with Vera.
Well, yes, it's a very good point to start with B1, for example. If you come to Germany, this is already good if you take an English taught program for sure. Otherwise, you have to have B2. Well, and if you want to go forward, that's, I think, the best idea if you want to work in Germany, because, well, for sure, we all talked about our small and middle-sized companies, but the working language is still mostly German. So if you want to stay in Germany, and if you want to integrate in Germany, if you want to have friends, then German is always a good thing to learn. And yes, we will help you. If you want to, you can come to our course, our summer language course in September. This is every year, so you can go forward these 4 weeks every year. And during the semester, we will have classes also.
Thank you. Professor Menke showed that you have like first and second semester language courses.
To answer whether it's needed thereafter, well, most people who graduate from our study program go on with a master and go on with a PhD, so they stay in academia. And for that reason, I have to admit that actually they get along quite well with English. When we speak about working in companies, I guess that was also what the question was about. As long as they stay in research and development, English is lingua franca too. Exception when they want to go to clinical monitoring, that's part overlapping to what Katja has said. So when they want to work with clinical monitoring, accompany clinical trials, also then German knowledge is required, because then they also have to learn something about the laws and regulations which govern clinical trials in Germany. But so of course we encourage our students to learn German. We offer them lots of chances to learn German, but I have to admit, unfortunately, they get along without. But we offer.
Yeah, thank you. I think in Berlin it's easy also to live with English.
Yeah, from the living side, definitely. So to communicate is no issue. I think everyone switches when they hear, oh, you don't speak so well German. They switch into English, which is not a good habit, actually, because they're supposed to learn German. Having said that, we do really recommend everyone to learn German, not only to find your way around. We also offer before each semester 2 weeks, it's included in the charge, German course, intensive course throughout your studies. The university has several classes where you can enroll in. And we have found, especially when you work in human resource, marketing, any sales-orientated positions, business development positions, you require German a lot more, obviously, than maybe when you're looking into project management. I just have a lady, she's doing product management in Johnson & Johnson, and she says everything's in English. My whole team, if it's Switzerland, wherever they come from, it's all in English. So it really depends on the company and the position as well. But if you want to work in the German market in the named fields, like I mentioned before, then obviously you need to learn some German as well.
Thank you so much. Another question to Vera. We already mentioned about applying with preliminary degree, but probably I misunderstood the question. The person is asking if a university has only 180 ECTS, kind of a standard, maybe it was a 3-year. What kind of an extra courses or scientific project would I need to complete to meet this master's prerequisite?
Well, if you come with 180 ECTS, then the professor in charge of this program will give you 30 credits to do. This can be an internship, this can be extra courses in laboratories or something like that. So they will find always a very personal way to do. And well, we'll let you know during the application period or, well, during the enrollment period. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'm already running over time, but I want to take one more question. It is about I did A-levels. What's a great requirement to apply for bachelor's? 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘳𝘵, first of all, I shared the link in chat from 𝘗𝘬𝘵, which shows you if you have a direct access to bachelor's program or you need a Studienkolleg or 1 year of bachelor in your home country. As for the grade, Professor Menke, if you have any insights, you could.
Well, the answer is it depends.
Yes.
We do have a defined number, 140. And under admission restricted conditions, we do have a percentage which will be awarded, of places which will be awarded to international students. So it's all a question of how many applicants we do have. If 10 times as many people as we have places apply, then the GPA required will be probably something like in the excellent range. If there are lesser, then it's lower. So it's always hard to predict, actually. But with a special situation in North Rhine-Westphalia, I would encourage every international student to apply right now, because it was never that easy as it will be in 26, because we will have only a very few German applicants.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you so much. Also, thank you very much, Katja, for taking questions in written as well.